Oh man. Good morning guys, hope your day is going well. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install this BackwoodsBMP bumper, as well as give you my thoughts about it because I've been riding with it for a full season now. I'm happy to say that I've brought on BackwoodsBMP as a new sponsor this year, so shout out to Ryan and all the guys there. They sent me a couple shirts, full drink koozies, although I don't drink beer, so this is kind of wasted on an insulated cup, but as well as they sent me a couple hats and some stickers, but the hats are a little too small. I got a big head. Sorry, Ryan. All right, I'll stop wasting time. Let's get to the video. I've installed several aftermarket bumpers over the years, and by far, this is the toughest bumper I've ever installed. The full-sized 1-inch bull bar is attached to 3/4 inch structural bars and a 1/4 inch aluminum protection plate, and you're also able to reinstall your factory belt holder and spark plug wrench in basically the same spot. The nice thing about the plate is that it gives you full protection, as opposed to if you had those structural bars that ran all the way underneath the sled, then you would be losing that little bit of ground clearance. I really like that part about this bumper. Alright, so first up, just like any other Polaris mod, it's time to take the plastics off, as well as remove our spare belt holder. Polaris really loves to make sure that there's plenty of mounting points for the front bumper, so first up there's 3 in the front, right by the front of the pipe. 2 of the screws are a T40 Torx, which is the same size as the one on your spark plug wrench, and then the lower should be a 10mm nut and bolt. And then the 2 rear mounting points I was only able to use wrenches on because there just wasn't enough room for a ratchet. If you do need to make a little bit more room on the clutch side mount, you can remove this little fuse box. All you have to do is press down on the tab and then push it left, and then you can get a little bit more room to work in there. And also there is a grounding strap on the one side, so don't forget to include that when you bolt the new bumper up. And now onto the other side, we're going to remove the spring that holds the pipe down to the chassis, and then remove the bolt, and the bumper should pop right off. Now, if you're like me and you have a skid plate on your sled, it might take a couple extra steps, but the bumper will still go on just fine. There's just 1 nut and bolt for the front of the skid plate, 1 being underneath the pipe. It's kind of tricky to get to, but not too bad. I ended up just leaving a 10mm wrench on the nut and wedged up against that little wall there. Just made it a little bit easier to loosen up rather than trying to reach in there and hold it. There's also going to be 3 screws at the back of the skid plate that you need to remove in order to get the skid plate off. So we need to drill 2 holes for the bumper to mount to the chassis. What's nice is the skid plate already has 2 holes dimpled, ready to be drilled. So the backwoods instructions call for a 1/4 inch size hole for the bolts. I needed to go to a slightly longer bolt because of the skid plate, so I actually just upsized the bolt to, I believe, a 3/16 size bolt. And you do have to remove these 2 rivets in order to use the holes for the bolts. Mine were a bit of a pain in the butt because they just wanted to keep spinning, but eventually got it done. Alright, now after remounting the skid plate real quick, we can finally install the new backwoods bumper. Took a little bit of finagling to get the holes in the bumper, the holes in the skid plate, and the holes in the chassis to line up, but eventually it worked out. And here you can see you really don't lose that much ground clearance, and the plate actually looks really cool. So now we can start bolting it up at the upper rear mount, but this is where things start to get a little tricky. So because of the tight tolerances on the pipe side here, I slipped the mount on for the exhaust spring right here first, and then just with a couple fingers kind of just wiggled the nut on. So I moved this downward and then put the nut on, got it up close to the mount, and then moved the mount up and then tightened everything up. This is a really tight spot to get everything into, so it's just kind of using wrenches. I also used a small magnet, you can see it right there, that little guy, so that if either the mount or the nut fell, that it would get caught by the magnet and not just go down into the bottom of the sled, like it did about 4 times. If you have bigger hands, it's a little more difficult, but if you have the means, I mean, you could probably just take the pipe off and it would make this a lot faster. Next up was just reinstalling the clutch side bolt, the fuse box, and the belt holder. And now we'll move to the front so that we can rivet the bumper to the front plastics. I used a microfiber to catch any shavings, and then a center punch to keep the drill bit from moving around a lot. And then just drill it out, throw a couple rivets in real quick, and throw the hood on just to make sure I didn't have any alignment issues. So the last part is mounting up and riveting in these little hood mount brackets, whatever you want to call them. These are a little bit tricky, but as long as you take your time, you should be able to get it done. So what you're going to do is just slide the mount in with the hood on, and then you're going to press on the hood to get it to basically line up in the hole there, and then make sure that it's flush on the bumper itself, and then using the actual bracket as a guide, basically just drill out your holes. Now for some reason I did not film installing the rivets, but it's pretty straightforward. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. However, this is footage from recently, so it is after about 500 miles with the bumper on, so that's kind of why it doesn't look brand new. But I'll show you real quick what the mounts look like now. And here was the finished product with, after drilling and riveting the mounts, they fit perfectly. It's real nice. And if you were wondering if the bumper does make contact with the pipe, I haven't really had any issues. You can see a little bit of wear mark right here, but I believe that was from the stock bumper. I haven't heard anything. I haven't had any kind of rattles or anything, because this doesn't even really line up with this bumper at all, unless the pipe is moved up somehow. But yeah, they really got this thing in there perfectly. So it did take a little bit of time for the new mounts to kind of just wear in. They were a little bit tough at first. I did have to trim a little bit off the back side of them, but they basically turn just like the stock ones now. Real nice and easy. So it just takes a little bit of time for them to kind of wear in. You can see there's a stock one, which is a little more difficult to turn. But it does snap real nicely. So, but these ones are pretty darn good. Great job, BackwoodsBMP. I'm actually really pleased with how close to stock that they got those mounts. And here's a quick shot of the skid plate as well as the protection plate from the bumper and how well it held up. I know it doesn't really seem like it, but I did go over a couple things that should have definitely gone through the plastics. So overall, I'm really pleased with how well this bumper turned out and how well it's held up, both looks and finish wise. I want to thank you guys for watching, and don't miss out on the next video where we're going to install the rear bumper. I also want to give a huge shout out to Ryan and all the guys at BackwoodsBMP. You guys are awesome, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.